Hey there, how's it going? You like Dark Souls? You like Dark Souls challenge runs? You like watching someone flail in agony performing some ridiculous task until they eventually triumph? What are the odds? Me too. Come here, let me show you something. I love this game. It's one of my favorites, despite being a little too easy. And I'm no stranger to spicing up the formula. Like beating the game with only sorceries, only pyromancies, only miracles, bow only, crossbow only, fist weapons only, consumables only. And while that's fun and all, those all feel a little basic. I wanted to find something unique, but admittedly I'm not quite masochistic enough to attempt something like these. I wanted something sort of in between those two extremes. So, I figured I'd just take a bunch of challenge runs and smash them together. This is Dark Souls 1, but all of the enemies are randomized, and also all of the item locations and drops are randomized. And also, I have to equip anything I pick up on the spot no matter what, and can't unequip it until I find something to replace it. And also, I'm only allowing myself one slot per hand. And also, I'm going to try my best to defeat every boss and do it summonless. Does that sound hard enough? Are you entertained yet? So anyway, when I'm creating my character, I of course end up going with the Thief class. Not only for the obvious reason being that it's the only class that starts with the Master Key by default, but also because it was the only class that looked like it had a halfway decent starting build. Is that the Moonlight Butterfly Horn? So the run starts properly, and the Asylum actually goes shockingly smoothly. Now, admittedly, this is mostly because I am a little crybaby bitch boy who set the randomizer settings to Easy Asylum. Just because I was probably going to have to restart again and again until I got an easy seed anyway, so I figured this was just sort of cutting out the trial and error. So I lit the bonfire, as you do, and I equipped my black fire bombs, which I chose as my starting gift, so that whatever comes down as the Asylum boss, I could just one cycle pretty easily and get whatever bonus weapon they happen to drop. Never mind. I go around to do the Asylum the normal way. I grab my starting shield and weapon and equip them immediately, as I'm required to do. I talk to Oscar to get my Estus, who has never looked better, by the way. I take some embarrassing damage, and then I'm ready to go challenge the boss properly. For some reason, it's almost as if the Taurus Demon doesn't want to get drop attacked, but that's okay, it's the Taurus Demon. If I can't kill him with just this starting axe, then I really have no business even attempting this challenge. Are you kidding? So I pass by Priscilla's tail for some reason, and I'm finally ready to head to Lordran, where I have absolutely no idea what kinds of fresh hell await me. Now that I'm in Firelink, I can finally level up, and I put a couple points into strength because I'm sort of forced to go with the generalist build, considering the fact that I will have next to no say in what items I actually end up using for this run. So I just try to make it so that I'll be able to use as many different things as possible. Speaking of new equipment, I decide to start off by talking to Petrus to see if he has anything useful to offer me. I mean, almost anything has to be better than this axe, right? Okay, not the end of the world. I don't even really remember what stats are required to wield this. Maybe it's not that bad. Alright, I guess we play the cards we're dealt. I'm hesitant to pick up all the items in Firelink because it's sort of an emergency stash. So I decide to head to the Berg and see what happens. Alright, on second thought, maybe I should pick up a couple more items from Firelink. So I head to this little hidden chest area, and I open one to get some even heavier armor than the armor I was already wearing. Awesome. Sure glad I did that. So I head to the graveyard to see if that has anything to offer me. And wait, is that Nito? What? That is Nito. Oh, wait. That gives me an idea. I'd be willing to bet it's possible to bait him off this cliff to get his souls. So I try again. A couple of times. And among those times included perhaps the most embarrassing way I've ever died. Yeah, maybe that's possible, but I'm gonna bark up another tree for now. I decided to swallow my pride and open up these remaining chests in Firelink to get an enchanted ember, interesting, and another heavy-ass helmet. Well, at least this one had a pike. I bet I could probably use that, right? Nope, that's also unusable. Even two-handing it. Great. Desperately clinging on to the idea that something has to give, I decide to head down to New Londo to see what that has to offer me. Alright, it may do basically no damage, but since these guys are stuck T-posing, maybe I'll be able to cut off his tail with enough patience?
Nope, that doesn't work.
Alright, at this point, I just need to prove to myself that I'm able to kill something. I mean, look at this single lone mosquito. Surely I could take that on, even if it's not a practical means of getting soul. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh god. Oh no. Wait, no. Hit the thing. Where are you aiming? Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, this is real bad. Alright, well, I'm not quite out of options yet. I use the master key to open up the Valley of Drakes, and I pick up... I'm just going to say that if you pick up two of the same kind of item at the same time, I get to decide which one to equip. If you're not happy with that, then feel free to do this challenge yourself and prove how much of a scrub I am. Anyway, I start heading down to Blight Town, and these guys are even easier to juke than normal, so that's a blessing. You saw nothing, and I open this chest to get a soul of a brave warrior that will come in handy later. I pretend not to see that Sanctuary Guardian, because as we all know, if you don't see it, it can't hurt you. And I make it to the swamp without too much difficulty, and I manage to find a sorcery that I will probably never be able to use. And then I strategically warp back up to Firelink, definitely and totally on purpose. I realized that I never actually checked what Petrus was selling earlier, and he has an interesting assortment of items, but not a useless one. I pop a soul to buy a soul to pop another soul to buy the gargoyle tail axe, which isn't my favorite weapon, but praise Gwyn, I can actually use it. Feeling emboldened by the fact that I am not completely defenseless anymore, I decide to try to fat roll past these enemies and actually get to the Berg to progress the game. And it went, well, about as well as I was expecting. Until, miraculously, this happened.
Why are you running?
I finally managed to get to these stairs, and I'm blocked by this mushroom. And killing him isn't exactly difficult, But oh boy, was it nerve-wracking, considering the fact that even one mistake and I would be guaranteed to die in one hit. I managed to reach the upper deck, and I'm relieved to see that the enemies up here are actually very manageable. It's just too bad that my dumbass hands were moving faster than my dumbass brain, and I wasn't able to stop myself from doing this. We really are our own worst enemies. But that's alright, I can recover from this. Not all hope is lost. There are more items up here in the Berg. Surely I'll be able to find a lighter weapon to use. God, I hate this game. I hate this game so much. Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, knowing it's probably hopeless anyway, I at least make an attempt to get to the bonfire, and yeah, that's about what I expected. Wait, did you see that? Alright, no more messing around. There has to be a usable weapon here in Firelink. Oh, goody. Hooray! Are you serious? You have got to be Alright, how about this? What? Hold on. What is going on here? Why? Genuinely, I don't know what's happening here. I mean, presumably it's something that I am overburdened with, but I genuinely can't figure out what could be in my inventory that would be preventing me from picking up something else. I actually never figured it out. It didn't even end up appearing in the softlock chest thing. To this day, I don't know. If I find out later that I soft locked the game because of this or something, oh yeah, robe with great lord. Sure, I lighter armor. I'm glad, but honestly, I'm kind of concerned about this. I don't know why this isn't being picked up or why it just vanished. Anyway, back to the graveyard, see what we can find. Oh, well, at least it's something. Actually, the first rings I found. Neat. Anyway, come on. Titanite shard, I mean, not immediately helpful, but I'm sure it'll come in handy later. Yeah, sure, we'll go with it. Come on, please, I just need something. Alright! Finally, I feel like I can actually play the game again. I have a weapon I can actually use, one-handed no less, and I'm finally mid-rolling. This section still isn't exactly easy to navigate, but it feels so much more feasible than it did before. Like I can actually somewhat consistently get to the top. Not to mention, I accidentally figured out this little trick where if I get a little bit too overwhelmed, all I have to do is stand under this bridge and this happens. I'm probably not going to abuse it every time, but it's a nice little way to clear out the enemies with almost no risk of death. Seriously, I cannot oversell how nice it is to not be fat rolling. I feel untouchable.
Bye-bye!
I managed to breeze through this staircase section. Luckily enough, I didn't get stopped by the mushroom. And I finally get another attempt at this open patio area. And, yep, it turns out that wasn't a fluke earlier. For some reason, Black Knight weapons are just invisible. Surely that won't cause any problems down the road for me. And in retrospect, it's probably why they're disabled by default in the randomizer. I just re-enabled them because I didn't think it would be a big deal. Well, I'll deal with that when it becomes relevant. Thankful to finally be able to have a little bit of forward momentum. I challenged the rest of the Berg, and once again, I am just lucking out. The enemy placement here is not bad at all. This is very... Oh, no, I take it back. It's bad. It's pretty bad. I'm sorry. No, I was wrong. Alright, in that case, I guess I'll just have to use the shortcut. which I am notoriously bad at, by the way. But I do eventually end up getting it. And then just have to dispatch this blowgunner who's in my way, as I promptly have a mini heart attack as it deposits something directly into my inventory, and I just praise the Lord that it's not another weapon. I managed to make it to the boss fog and take a good look at who I'm fighting next. Well, shit. Well, I managed to get rid of the replacement archers super easily, barely took a scratch. And now it's just time to take on Priscilla. And, well, I mean, let's take a look. Maybe it won't be that bad. Yeah, that's not happening. Alright. New plan. I almost tried again, but up here you can actually see the exact moment I had a thought and realized that I had the master key and did not have to fight her right now. I walk right past Havel, who wasn't replaced because he's technically an NPC, not a normal enemy, and I just have a pretty uneventful walk through Darkroot Basin. At least it was pretty uneventful, right up until the moment I turn this corner and see what I thought was a Black Knight swordsman, who turned out to be a Black Knight halberd user. Yep, it turns out it actually becomes a lot harder to dodge them when you don't know what weapon they're holding. You know, I must say, without the Hydra or any of the crystal golems, Darkroot Basin is actually pretty peaceful. Almost scenic. I actually, quite like having a section where I don't have to be on high alert constantly all the time. What's making that noise? So after way too much time, I finally managed to make it to Undead Parish and got to challenge the church. Up here there's just a illusory pinwheel that I can... Oh no, this one's real. Alright, well, that's fine. Luckily, Pinwheel's cloning mechanics don't work outside of his arena, so he's about as easy as he always is. So I just kill him, and I can... Wait a minute. What the hell? That's a ripoff. Why? Oh... It turns out I never changed the default setting in the enemy randomizer, which causes roaming bosses to only drop half of their normal amount of souls. So on top of everything else, bosses are also just gonna give me half as many souls as they're supposed to. Awesome. As if this challenge didn't have enough going for it. So inside the church, I grab a pyromancy that I can't use, as well as a ring that doesn't help me in any way. I then equip them before unlocking the Firelink shortcut. So now, if nothing else, at least I have multiple ways to get to and from the parish. I level up and head back to the church, which is almost always one of the worst parts of any randomizer. Luckily, in my case, it's actually not that bad. I've actually been getting shockingly good RNG when it comes to enemy placement. And then I pick... Oh, Why does this keep happening? But you know what? It's okay. My stats aren't actually that much lower than the requirements. So all I actually need is some way to get some additional souls that don't involve me getting into any direct combat, so that I can just get the few extra levels I need to wield this sword. And I think I have an idea. Alright, as much as I like that visual gag just now, it turns out that that is not actually a viable way to farm souls. It does kind of work, but it's just not consistent enough to make it really worth the effort. Because in order to level up, I need to be able to do at least 3 or 4 runs in a row without dying or losing my souls. And I just can't do it consistently enough to make this even remotely worth the time investment. So I am unfortunately going to need another way to farm. Because clearly, this just isn't working. And yes, I did die that exact same way twice in a row. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's still going. I died a lot. Like, I really tried to make this work. Like, no, I'm not cutting it out. It's this. I want you to see how many times I died here. Like, I didn't just die once or twice and just go bitch mode. Like, this, I really tried to make this work. So instead, as the story goes, I just decided to scoop up any and all items that I could find. And what I managed to do is get a heavier shield where I can no longer parry nor mid-roll, and several other useless pieces of armor. I tried to get this item behind this gargoyle who has an inactive AI, but no matter what I tried, I just could not get him to activate nor budge. Like, I thought for sure he would pop awake after I hit him enough times like the other one did. But no, of course, this is the one that just stands there and takes the beating. And as patient as I am not patient enough to whittle down his whole health bar like this. I tried breaking open this pot to see what goodies lied in store, and I got a blue eye orb and a dark moon blade covenant ring. 2 of the most useless items I could have possibly asked for. Well, maybe there's something in the Berg. Oh, gee. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Was not expecting that. Oh, wait a minute. This is perfect. That means the upstairs will be almost entirely empty. I could probably go up to the top level that's almost completely clear and free Lautrec now. Is what I thought before realizing that this demon was just too big to let me through the hallway. I tried. I really did. But, looks like whatever item Lautrec is holding on to will have to remain a mystery for now. Okay. Let me think here. There has to be something I can do. Maybe there's an item in Firelink I'm forgetting about? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the rusted iron ring on the rooftop. I never grabbed that. A scythe? Hell yes! Finally, a usable item and a pretty good one at that. This is the moment that'll turn everything around. I'm going back to the church, and this time I have a plan. I just need to run to the center to lure down these top-level enemies to the bottom on purpose this time in order to clear out a straight shot through the church. I'm not going to pick up any items, no matter how tempting they may be, to ensure that I have a usable weapon and I can finally beat the boss and ring the... Ha ha ha. Funny deformed cutscene. Oh boy. Man, I'm so entertained right now. I'm having a lot of fun. So much fun. I'm definitely not regretting my decision. But what is this, by the way? I can't even... Are these things supposed to be in the random enemy pool? I don't think they are. Something's up with my config, I think. I mean, at least it means that I don't have to fight something else and Manus at the same time. But, I mean, let's be real. At my current level, with this weapon, I'm not beating Manus with or without another enemy on the field. It's just not gonna... It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, okay. Time for some more brainstorming. Blight Town is a place I can go. I head back down to the swamp in hopes that Quelaag is something that I can beat. I don't know what caused the Guardian to kill itself this time, but we count our blessings in this household. I managed to make it to the bonfire, kind of. But, you know, that's okay. I have an idea. All I have to do is lure these guys into this hole, and then once they fall down, I can just climb back up the ladder. Oh. Well, can I hit them from down here? No? Of course not. Well, that's fine. I'll just go up onto the ledge and attack them from a safe distance from the side. Oh, okay. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's about what I've come to expect at this point. Well, I got my souls back and managed to actually rest at the bonfire this time. And I can finally level up with those 15,000 souls that the Guardian decided to donate to a charitable cause. Crossing the Blight Town swamp is about as fun as it's ever been. You know, gotta love fat rolling. I don't even have very much commentary on this. This just sucked. I mean, I made it, but no part of it was pleasant. And now I just have to pray that the boss is something I can beat. Come on, please. Please be something I can beat. Please be something I can beat. What is it? Oh, God, please. The suspense is honestly killing me. What fresh hell awaits? Oh, wait a minute. That's a gargoyle. Oh, thank you. Yeah, oh, dude. A gargoyle. I can beat a gargoyle. Oh, this is going to be easy. Finally, a break. Alright. Yeah, that's... You know, that's on me. I take ownership of that. That's fine. Well, you know, this is a pretty good run. I think I might actually be fucked. I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. This is a dead run. You know, I feel like I'm barely even trying at this point. That just because poison and toxic? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Well, I do at least manage to get his tail, which is not helpful, but, you know, it makes me feel better. And what? You know what? That's fine. I don't even care. This time around, I decided to be human so that Mildred would spawn. I used this absolutely foolproof way to cheese her to death without taking any damage whatsoever, in hopes that she will drop something useful. Perfectly executed, as always. Man, I'm good. Anyway, let's see what she dropped. Hard leather gauntlets. Seems a little underwhelming, but at least it's not actively harmful. I equip them as soon as I'm able, and... Oh, I'm mid-rolling again. Oh, this gargoyle's finished. And just like that, I defeated the boss. I'm finally done with Blight Town, and I can ring the first Bell of Awakening. After doing so, I take the liberty of going a little further down, unlocking the secret area so I can rest at the bonfire and get the future warp point. And I receive a gift from the gods, apparently. I'm sure. Anyway, after making friends with this weirdly hot spider, what? Okay, I'm sure. I'll take it. I mean, I'm not gonna complain, but what? Sadly, that does not happen every time I rest at the bonfire. It seemed to have just been a one-time thing. But, you know, it's enough for me to level up a few times, so I'm not even remotely complaining. And after my recent victory against the gargoyle and ringing the bell, I'm feeling pretty confident. Some may say a little overconfident. So I decided to go and see what was replacing Ceaseless Discharge, and I mean, maybe? I don't feel like that would be impossible. Well, we're here. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's not great damage, but yeah, I could probably beat Super Ornstein. Alrighty then. But, you know what? I don't think this is over. I have an idea. I decide to return to the boss fight, but this time, I have a plan. And yes, before you try to call me out, what you're about to see, I did do on purpose. Thank you, easily manipulatable AIs. Anyway, I head to the other side of the arena to pick up my well-earned reward. And, oh boy! This sure is an upgrade over what I was already wearing. Man, what would I do without this new ring? Well, at least I can use the souls to level up. So I light the Demon Ruins bonfire and, let's see here. My health bar is still pretty short. I suppose I'll maybe go with a little bit of vitality. And I think I might... Oh, shit. Ah, shit. So anyway, I go to the Daughter of Chaos bonfire to level up, and I think I might go with a little bit of vitality, as well as some strength index. The trip back up from Blight Town is surprisingly easy, and I decide to see what the Valley of Drakes has to offer. Anyway, as I was saying, I went back to the Undead Parish to see what Andre had to offer. And he had some decent items, some things I could potentially see being useful. Oh, wait a minute. He's selling dragon scales? Oh, that's awesome. If I can get unlimited dragon scales, that's awesome. If I can get a dragon weapon, I could level it up all the way. That'd be super helpful. I wonder if I can get one. Well, isn't that serendipitous? Don't mind if I do. And of course, I'm just gonna buy as many dragon scales like... Oh, he was just selling the one. And now I have no choice but to have this Drake Sword equipped anyway. Well, I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing that could happen. It's a decent weapon. Although, I do still wish that there was some way I could find some more dragon scales. Well, how about that? Filled with a sense of impending doom for what's to come, I realize that there's not much left to do except fight Manus. So I figure there must be some way to cheese him. First, I try to see if I can whittle his health down before he's active so that he's not as tanky. But unfortunately, his health doesn't seem to be instantiated until his part of the fight actually starts. So that doesn't work. Next, I tried to see if maybe I could hide in the corner of the arena where he couldn't see me and I could just cheese him from there. But considering the fact that I don't have any ranged weaponry on me, despite the fact that he can't actually reach this corner, I also can't hit him unless I come out of the corner. And at that rate, I really might as well just fight him normally. Needless to say, that also didn't work. I kind of knew from the get-go that this was doomed to fail, but I wouldn't have been doing my due diligence if I didn't try. So I decided to swap which hands I was holding my weapons with, which is not technically against the rules, and with my now two-handed eagle shield, I thought maybe the added poise of the two-handed bash might be able to move him, and that didn't work either. So, in a futile attempt at staving off the crushing despair, I decided to just basically do some side quests in the meantime. It turns out that the Moonlight Butterfly was replaced with regular Ornstein, and for some reason his AI was just completely broken, and he let me just beat him to death. No, it's not quite how I wanted this to go either, but, I mean, what am I gonna do? It is what it is, right? Upon reaching the top of the tower, I am humbly rewarded with yet more worthless bullshit, and then I start going around the rest of the garden picking up what I can find. I get a Mask of a Child by the ambush area, a large flame ember in this little nook. I head over to the area that is normally hidden behind the moving tree and find some crystalline leggings. And the area that normally contains the wolf ring is instead replaced with sniper bolts and bracelets of the Great Lord. And it is about now when I start to regret my decision to rest at the bonfire behind the illusory wall, because it turns out that leaving this area by foot is actually much more difficult than it was getting in. Luckily, with a little bit of patience and some strategy, I am able to eventually make it through, and I head down to the basin again, where I pick up a talisman. Oh boy! So, no more blocking for me at all. Despite my recently acquired handicap, I am able to absolutely embarrass this Dark Wraith and backstab him right off the cliff. He does get the last laugh, however, because as an act of revenge, he manages to slip some Black Knight gauntlets into my pocket. I pick up some humanity and head to a cave to light the bonfire, if only to visually confirm that I, in fact, do not have any miracles to use this talisman for, rendering my left hand completely useless. I then head to the lake area where I, not 2 minutes after picking up the first one, pick up another identical talisman. I then manage to narrowly snatch my cheeks from Artorias' hungry grasp and get the idea that maybe I could find some way to get him to fall off the cliff. Wouldn't that be nice? A nice, convenient way to farm his souls. Surely this is the punishment for my hubris. I think I get why people go hollow. At this point, I am so out of ideas that I actually just started farming souls in some vague, desperate hope that would somehow help me. Seriously, let's review the situation here for a second. Firelink Shrine is out of items. The graveyard is out of items. Darkroot Basin and Garden are both pretty much out of items, or at least easily accessible ones. The only boss that I have left to kill that would allow me to progress the story in any meaningful way is Manus, and I just have no realistic way of fighting him whatsoever, nor have I found any way to even cheese the fight. Even if I do manage to pick up a new weapon, there's no guarantee that I'll even be able to wield it, let alone that it'll be any better. Eventually, I do decide, I guess it can't be any worse. Maybe I'll just go to the parish and see what it has to offer. I do manage to find a pendant, and I then promptly die. And then my game crashes. Isn't that swell? I want to complain, but I'm literally doing this to myself. Alright. I think I was on the right track earlier. Surely there's some item I can pick up that'll help me. So I pick up some literal garbage. I go to the gate, pick up some literal garbage. And at this point, you can probably tell that the desperation is really setting in, because I just go back to thinking, maybe there's some way I can cheese him. And you can probably guess how that goes. I try real hard to get him to fall off the cliff, and I mean, you can just see for yourself. Come on. Are you kidding? You have to be kidding me. Alright, so he seems hard-coded to be unable to fall. That's just great. That's awesome. So basically, I have no choice. I have to fight him legitimately. But this Drake Sword just is not going to do it. If only there was some way that I could get a weapon that could do more damage without just randomly looking for weapons in the wild. Wait a minute. It's just too bad that my dumbass hands were moving faster than my dumbass brain, and I wasn't able to stop myself from doing this. Finally, a ray of hope. All I have to do is farm these plant guys, and eventually one of them will drop a great club. Which isn't a fantastic weapon, but it'll definitely be doing more damage than the Drake Sword now that I can actually wield it. It's just too bad that my game seems to be quickly deteriorating, as my game crashed again, not long after having the idea. So, I may pretty much be admittedly doing exactly what I was doing before, but at least this time I have a goal in mind. I'm just farming for the Great Club, and as soon as I get it, I think I may at least stand half a chance at fighting Manus, or hell, if not Manus, at least maybe Priscilla. So all I have to do is go back and forth a few times in hopes that I get it, and I was doing this farming routine. Luckily, there are two of these plant guys right near the bonfire for almost exactly 9 minutes. Because as soon as I hit the 9-minute mark, my game crashed again. But have no fear. These simple one-dimensional tricks of the devil will have no effect on one such as me. My unemployment levels are far too high. I haven't touched grass since 2004. I will reset this game as many times as it takes, no matter what, until I reach my goal. I will stop at nothing until that club is in my hands. And, luckily for me, this time around, I actually do find it. So I grab the Great Club, equip it, and I head back to the Undead Parish bonfire in order to pop a couple of souls and level up to make it even stronger. I then decide to celebrate this victory by fighting my way through the Undead Church, during which time I promptly get overrun and my game crashes again. But that's okay, my spirit is completely unbreakable. I decide to head back and take revenge on the churchgoers who caused my untimely demise. And this time, I managed to play for 2.5 whole minutes before my game crashed.
You're, surely bored of this bit by now, so I will spare you from the rest of it. However, you may rest assured that the game crashed like 4 more times.
Long story short, I do eventually end up back at the boss. And boy, am I horrified to find out that it barely does any damage either. Frankly, I don't know what to do at this point. I try a couple more times just for posterity's sake, but I mean, frankly, this isn't gonna happen. I'm not Lobos Jr., I'm not Challenger Andy. I'm in over my head here. I genuinely think I bit off more than I can chew. I don't know what to do here. I can't do this. This is too hard. I mean, look at this. What am I supposed to do? I decide to go back and check out a few more areas that I had neglected earlier, and yeah, they're really not any more forgiving than anything else. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of just floundering at this point. I'm like, I guess I didn't really explore New Londo all that much. I mean, I don't have any reason to think it'll help me, but sure, if I'm gonna beat my head against a wall, it might as well have some different scenery. I even attacked this Gwyn just to see what would happen, and wait a minute. He didn't activate. He never activates, actually. Wow, the Lord of Cinder must really be hollow, because he actually just let me wail on him all the way to 0 health. I mean, sure, the halved boss souls makes a comeback, but considering that that's a literal 0 effort 35k, I might have to take advantage of that. I even came back and refined my strategy, so I don't have to actually take him all the way to 0 health. I can just walk him over to the edge of the map with staggers and let him fall off. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not proud of this, but if the game's going to be doing me this dirty, frankly, I need to take every advantage I can get. It's this or I just give up on the run at this point.
And I'm sure you've figured this out by now. You seem like a pretty smart person. But for anyone who happens to need it spelled out, I am of course cutting out a lot here, for the sake of this video not being about 5 to 10 hours long. Just know that I killed this Gwyn a lot of times, and I also did a little bit of off-camera exploration and gathering of items, but if I didn't show it to you, then you can just assume that it wasn't anything that would meaningfully impact the run.
And while I'm down here, I also realized that I once again spaced yet another accessible merchant. So I talked to Ricker to see what he has for sale, and perhaps against my better judgment, I end up deciding to buy this Demon's Great Hammer in hopes that it'll aid my DPS. So, on account of me being notoriously bad at Dark Souls, I actually did enough grinding to be able to mid-roll while holding the Demon's Great Hammer. And the combination of me actually having a pretty decent damage output and also being able to mid-roll gave me the confidence to finally return to Undead Berg and be able to talk to the Undead Merchant and see what he has to offer. So, let's check out his wares.
And then a hero comes along.
I cannot put into words how huge this is. Finally finding an unlimited source of Titanite means that not only will I be able to upgrade my current weapon as high as I can go, but also any future weapons that I find and am forced to replace with my current weapon can also be upgraded. So I can be much more loose with upgrades in the future. This is incredible. I decided to buy as much Titanite as I can hold, and I decided to get a couple of bolts as well, just in case I need them in the future. I have a few ideas for those. So of course I run straight to Andre's place after killing a couple more Gwyns in order to upgrade my hammer to +5. Unfortunately, despite the fact that I have the very large ember, I don't actually have the large ember yet, so +5 is our maximum. But still, that will be a huge difference in damage. So now I'm excited. I'm hyped. I run through the Undead Church like a bowl of gas station chili, and I face Manus with, for the first time, a build that I feel like actually stands a half a chance of winning. And let me tell you, I got folded. He fondled me. It wasn't even a fight. And as much as I hate to admit it, I can't even really blame the challenge itself this time. I'm honestly just really, really bad at fighting Manus. I genuinely don't even know what it is about him, but he is truly the only Dark Souls 1 boss who, to this day, I still have trouble beating sometimes, even on a casual playthrough. I just never got the hang of his patterns. I don't know what it is. So, what now? Where do I go from here? That's right, we're using cheese strats, baby! Everyone knows you don't win Dark Souls challenge runs by being good at Dark Souls. That's noob shit. You win Dark Souls challenge runs by being willing to stoop lower than your opponent. We're headed back to the Undead Merchant and buying a crossbow and all the arrows we can carry. I'm hereby decreeing that I'm allowed to replace my left-hand item with the crossbow because fuck you is my challenge, I make the rules. And we head back to the Undead Church where we'll duck into the far corner and safely cheese Manus to death. Oh, it turns out he actually can hit us from back here. Well, shit, that was my only plan. That honestly kind of took the wind out of my sails. Damn. Honestly, I think a big part of the problem is just that I can't get higher than a +5 weapon. I mean, Manus is intended to be one of the hardest, if not the hardest bosses in the game. He's supposed to be fought with at least a +10, if not higher. And I can't really just go looking for the large ember because not only is there a high possibility that it's locked behind somewhere that I can't even get to right now, but by the time I find it, I'll almost certainly have a weapon that has a lower base damage than this anyway. I just wish there was some way I could get a +10 weapon without needing the ember. Wait a minute. Didn't I see something like that somewhere? I swear I did. What am I thinking of? Oh, wait a minute. I remember. So admittedly, this might be pushing the spirit of the challenge a little bit, but do you remember that greatsword of Artorias that I got at the very beginning of the game? Yeah, any blacksmith can take that and revert it back to its constituent parts, which in this case happens to be a claymore +10. Then, because I have the very large ember, I can take that claymore +10 and upgrade it even further, all without ever actually needing to find the large ember. So I do just that. I buy the claymore and I manage to upgrade it all the way to +13. And I use it to farm a couple more wait. What? Oh, now he wakes up? What the? I killed you like 30 times before. Why are you activating now? I don't understand. What are the rules? Well, that aside, I just got a pretty huge boost in power, so I imagine I could probably challenge these guys again. Alright, just land a few hits on this guy. Oh shit. Oh, what the hell? Oh, god damn. Well, I mean, I gotta equip it. It's the rule. Oh, I hope maybe I could just dodge him for a second while oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, what was I supposed to do there? But, you know, that actually reminds me of something. I never did end up saving Lautrec. And while it's true that when you beat the gargoyles, he'll end up freeing himself either way, if you're the one who frees him, then he'll give you a special reward. And in this case, I have no idea what that reward's going to be. And while it's true that it will be risky to grab a random item that I don't know what it's going to be, I could argue that it would be just as risky to let it disappear forever without ever finding out what it is. So I decide to risk it and I free him. And I play Russian roulette and I pick up the item and... oh, thank God. And you know, while it is sort of a shame that I had to give up the crossbow so soon, this actually ends up being a blessing. Because the talisman, while I can't technically use it, is light enough where now I can actually light roll. And the very next time I go to fight Manus, this happens.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But then, a couple tries after that, this happens. But then, eventually, this happened. And with that, finally, after far too much time, energy, thought, and mental breakdowns, I have defeated the gargoyles and am able to ascend the tower and ring the second Bell of Awakening. And there you have it. I know I've only done about a third of the game so far, but I think you'll understand if I call it there for now. Do let me know if you want to see me do the rest of the game. I will be happy to. And for now, I think I'll just rest a little. Thank you for watching.